Thanksgiving. It's just 3 days away, which is crazy. But that also means many will be stuffing their faces with juicy turkey, cranberry sauce, maybe some sweet potato pie, with the marshmallows on top. But of course, you should try to avoid overdoing it, right? Because you definitely want a fit dessert.
That's right. Today in Eat Right, Live Well, we show you how much you should be putting on your plate.
Hey guys, we're back here with Katie Sampaio. She's an author, she's a trainer, and she's a nutrition expert. She's the author of her #1 best-selling book, Eat to Thrive, the Anti-Diet Cookbook. I'm all about anti-diet, so her cookbook I have to buy because it's going to be amazing. But Katie, the holidays, they're here.
Yes.
And what do people like to do during the holidays? They like to eat, and they like to eat a lot. But that's not always the best thing, right?
No, not if you're actually trying to stay in shape and you don't want to feel like crap the next day.
Right.
So I'm going to show you some tips today on how you can portion control your Thanksgiving meal without the measuring spoons, without all the tools, because we're not going to bring those to the table. We're not doing that.
No.
We can just easily gauge it. I'm going to teach you some really quick tips that I have outlined in my portion control cheat sheet, which I give to all my clients. So you guys can always message me at katiesampaio.com if you want that. So just know that I have a contact form there. But so let's get into the Thanksgiving plate.
Okay.
Like what's appropriate and what's not, if you actually care about the portions. So this is the typical size plate, right?
Right.
It's pretty big. It's like as big as my head. That's huge. So the first thing, if you want to trick your brain, and this is a pretty simple trick, you use a smaller plate because psychologically, we want the whole plate to be full.
That's what Thanksgiving's all about.
Yeah, fullness, we want it to also be aesthetically pleasing.
Sure.
We don't want a bare plate. Looks kind of like, right?
Right.
So we just go for the smaller plate. So I have a plate here that is actually a really good size to use. I use these plates all the time when I eat. This is great for general portion control too. The smaller plate, fill it all the way up.
Okay.
You'll feel more satisfied. It's going to trick your brain immediately. Tip number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, so now we have a bunch of sides here, okay? So this is how your Thanksgiving plate might look. So we have the turkey, right? So that's the protein source. So when you're measuring protein, take your fist, okay? Measure that. That is about how much protein that you should eat. So if you have a bigger fist, if you're a man, for instance.
So that's basically perfect for the both of us because we've got pretty small
similar ones.
fists.
For a guy, it might be doubled because your fist is bigger. So that's the great part about that, is that it's dynamic. So no matter who you are, you're going to eat the right portion because it's individualized to you in the size of your fist.
Okay.
So know that for the protein, for any protein in general, size of your fist, this is around 3 to 4 ounces for me and you. For a man, it's typically around 6 to 7 ounces of protein. That's what you want. But again, you can use your fist.
Okay.
Now, as far as the vegetables go, so we have some vegetables and carbs here. Vegetables you can always go in on. I like to measure vegetables by handfuls for salad. So 2 big handfuls is typically 1 serving of veggies. So when you measure that out on a plate, go ahead, 2 big handfuls, throw it on there. But with vegetables, you really can't go wrong.
Sure.
Okay, it's more the fruit. So for the fruit, I have the cranberry sauce here. Fruit is great for you, lots of fiber, but also a lot of sugar. And that's why you see bodybuilders and stuff, they usually cut fruit completely out of their diet.
Wow.
Because they just don't want the sugar. So when you are eating it, you want to make sure that it's a smaller portion than everything else on the plate. So for the cranberry sauce, it's just a little bit. It's equal
the less sugar, the better.
The less sugar, the better. It's about the size of like a racquetball, if you want to scope it that way.
Or like a golf ball.
Like a golf ball.
Yeah.
For the cranberry sauce. So if you put your index finger and your thumb together, you can measure that. That's also how you're going to want to measure cheese.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a good heaping of a tablespoon that you can just put right on your plate. That's
like
what that
2
looks
tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way. So that's going to be your cranberry sauce.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to the potatoes. So for the carb, what you want to do is you can measure the inside of your hand. Because again, if you're a bigger person, you can typically eat more carbs. So that's going to adjust for you too. And what I also like to do is, as a reference, is use an apple. So if it's about the size of an apple, that's a good amount of carbs for you. So we have the potatoes here. Just know inside of your hand, if it could fit in there, or the size of an apple roughly, is about the size of the carbs that you want.
Okay.
And then we have fresh root vegetables here, which we have some sweet potatoes, which are another form of carb. So again, it's about the same size. That's why I did that. But again, you could eat a little more of this than the potatoes, just because you have the beets and the carrots in it.
So do you call this, because this is actually cauliflower.
This is.
And so you can still call it cauliflower potato? Or you're just saying anything?
I'm saying
the cauliflower, the potato, because some people might just want to have the potatoes, or the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on top. That's my favorite.
That's delicious, and that's what we're going to want to do, like the small amount.
The smaller amount for the marshmallows.
Exactly. But I was just saying, just for like, because most people are going to have have normal potatoes, you're gonna want around that size.
Okay.
For a cauliflower potato, double it. Let's
Okay.
be honest.
Okay.
But I don't think a lot of people would actually be eating that.
Yeah,
That'd be great,
on
right?
Thanksgiving.
That's already gonna be healthier.
Right.
But if you're eating the real
Right.
stuff, this is the way to really measure the real stuff, okay? So those are my quick tips. Make sure that you can use this for protein,
Okay.
inside for carb, this for cheese and fruits like the cranberry sauce, and dried fruits is what I mean by that as an appetizer. And then for your salad, 2 big handfuls, or you can kind of go all in on it depending if there's cheese in it or not. Limit that, of course. But those are easy ways in general for Thanksgiving to measure your portions and just in general life.
Right, and these are healthier options. You guys, if you just want to go all out on Thanksgiving, you want to have the turkey, you want to have the homemade cranberry, you want to have a big scoop of mashed potatoes with the gravy on top, go for it. But you know what? It's all about the portion control. You don't need 6 huge heapings of food on that plate because that's just not good for anybody. You'll overeat, you'll have no room for dessert, and who wants that, right?
I want dessert.
I want dessert
So that's
too.
why I portion control this, so I also have room for dessert.
Absolutely. Katie, thank you so much. So helpful as always, and definitely going to keep these tips in mind for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so with that, again, I talked about my portion control cheat sheet. That's usually only for people in my programs, but if you go to my website, email me, go to my contact form, let me know that you saw me here today. I will mail that to you for free. So go ahead, go to my website, put your name in to my contact me, tell me that you saw me today, and I'll get you that portion control cheat sheet just in time for the holidays.
Email her. She's
Yep,
good. She's great.
KatieSamPio.com.
Thank you, Katie.